Hey there, everyone! How are we doing today? 40K live stream. Welcome all to the 40K live stream. We've done many of these milestone live streams just to celebrate reaching a new milestone in subscribers. A lot of new people here. Always good to get to know them firsthand through a live stream where I can actually see them chatting it up. So I got a few different things that we can talk about for this live stream. A few things that I've seen other people talk about that I haven't really discussed either because I was busy or I'm just not quick enough. Some people who do like this comic news stuff, man, they are uploading 1,000 videos per day. I don't know where the heck they're finding the time. Do you sleep? I don't understand. Anyway, I don't do that. I try to do just a few videos per week. Though last week I kind of slacked a bit because I spent most of last week over at Adam's house, and I thought I was going to get some work done, or at least like some comic work done. I didn't get anything done. I got nothing done. And yeah, I also have commissions. On top of everything I'm doing, I also have commissions. So it's not super great to be slacking for almost an entire week. It's really hot today. Yeah, it's really hot every day. It's summer. Summer's doing what summer does. But I guess the good thing about summer is that my birthday is coming up. Woo! I'm not doing anything for my birthday because there's a pandemic, but it's always good just to know that you got past another year, right? What's with the cast on my hand? This is just like, it's not cast. You can like take it off. It's just for my wrist, basically. You know, I do partially think I might have arthritis just because whenever my parents' arthritis is acting up, my wrist and fingers start hurting. So apparently I'm an old lady. I think that's the takeaway. But I am going to take it off because it's too hot. It's too hot for a wrist. It's too hot for everything. I'm in a tank top and a skirt, and it's still way too hot. I can only imagine what men must feel like being in suits during the summer. Awful. Are you a bit young for arthritis? Yeah, exactly. I'm way too young for arthritis, at least as far as I know. I don't know, maybe I've managed to do so much work in such a short period of my life that I've just sped up the process of getting arthritis. Oh, thank you for the donation. What is that? Dekari Garmon. You guys should know by now that I'm not good at speaking. I don't know how that guy became a YouTuber. Can't stay, but happy 40K and happy early birthday. Keep being your awesome self. Thank you. It's always nice to get little messages of positivity. You know, there's a lot of shitty messages online. So it's always going to put a smile on my face just to hear you guys like cheering in the background. I believe in you, believing in me. You life hacked yourself into a chronic condition. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Wear Warhammer. Oh, man. Yeah, Adam was saying that he would legitimately set me up with a Warhammer game, but I was like, man, no. I can't give in to the memes. That's no good. I can do a birthday stream. Well, I don't know. I might be hanging out with Adam for my birthday. I might be. I don't know. That's next time we hang out, he's going to bring his ass over here. Because every time I go over his house, I don't get anything done. And it might just be because whenever you're in a new environment, things just kind of feel off. It's definitely something that introverts must go through. I mean, it's the same for him when he's over here. He doesn't get any work done either. So, I don't know. Next time, you gotta come over here. You earned a lot of simps. Thank you. So, we're gonna go over a bunch of different topics. I do see some people mentioning some topics in the chat. What are we at? 5 minutes into the stream? Should we wait a little bit longer for more people to get in? I don't know, man. I don't know. I've also only have like 3 tabs open with stuff that I wanted to briefly talk about. So if you guys know of any other news that I should talk about in this stream, at least briefly talk about, then just let me know and I'll like look it up, pull up a tab. We could briefly talk about it, you know. We could briefly do briefly. The bad thing about talking about these things during a live stream is that I'm unfiltered. And I'm even worse unfiltered than the edited. Like people always mention when I flub up in the edited videos, it's like, man, if you're complaining about that, you don't even want to know what that video was like before. There was a lot more flub ups in that one. Oh, I did mention in my last stream, I got a new light. And it's slowly going to be blinding me, I can tell you. All right, at some point, I will get a stand for it, and it'll be higher. Maybe if it's just higher, it'll be better. Some people were saying that I should look into getting a backdrop to help the light kind of bounce off. It's a good idea, right? But other people need to use this room. And I've already got a lot of my stuff in here. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the real solution to making this a good setup is to move. I just need to get my own house and get my own room for this type of stuff because sharing the house with other people, you can't really make something your own territory. This would have been my bedroom, by the way, but no. I've got to move into the room that has no lock on the door and see-through curtains. That's the bedroom for me. Bluish purple light. I mean, like, you can change the type of light, I think, but it goes from blue to yellow, basically. So that's like more yellowish light. It doesn't really look like it's shining on me at all, though. Maybe if I turn up the brightness. Is that better? That's probably better. It's better for my eyes. I can say that much. You know, the light up here is yellow, so that's probably why it just kind of looks balanced, I guess. Yeah, I think it looks better. I think it looks more balanced. Turn it up a little bit more. It's not a bad light, but I thought it came with a stand. On the product page, it showed a stand, and then it just didn't come with a stand. I've got to admit, pretty disappointed. But, you know, I'll figure it out as we go along. That's what you got to do. Just got to figure everything out as we go along. Actually, this light doesn't really look that much different from when I was just straight up using the lamp. When I was using the lamp light. Maybe a little bit bright. That's as bright as it'll go. Can't get any brighter than that. I do need a backdrop. I need a whole room specifically designed for making these videos. But until then, I gotta work with what I can. What are you gonna do, right? So I guess maybe I could do some updates for you. Some of you are donating, or have donated, I should say, to the Orgasm Girl campaign. We're almost 50% done the inking. We're very close. I don't think coloring will take that long because we're splitting it between the two of us. I'm doing flats and Sanity is just shading the thing. I don't think lettering will take that long, but I've been wrong before. There's a lot of like last minute touches that I feel like I'll be doing when I start lettering the thing, like different ways I'll want to phrase the words. And I feel like I need to have someone proofread it. But even when I have people proofread it, they miss mistakes. There's so much stuff that like I've read over and over again. I've given it to other people to read over and over again, and they don't notice a typo. Drives me nuts. But I guess it happens, right? I guess some people, they read so quick that they just don't notice these typos. And I'm definitely guilty of that. I read very fast. I'm a fast reader because I read a lot. Shame. You get shot in the forehead? Oh yeah, definitely. Got shot with a good old BB gun. Nah, I have been breaking out a lot. Definitely. I eat very fast. Well, they have competitions for that. Oh man, I wasn't expecting it to be hot downstairs because you'd think all the cool air gets stuck down here. But no, it's pretty hot. All right, we'll just get on to the topics. We don't have to beat around the bush too much. Oh, I also wanted to update Ellie 2, Ellie the Eliminator 2. It's like 75% done. I'm just doing the coloring, almost done all the coloring. Well, sort of almost done all the coloring. I'm like maybe halfway through. Like I said, I've been slacking, but I'll pick up the pace because I want to get Ellie 2 out there. O-Girl in general will probably not be completely done till like October, but I'm pretty confident that I can get Ellie 2 out there by like the end of August, probably. Thank you, Maverick, for the $5 donation. I had a philosophy paper published recently and stuff was missed there also. Damn, man, that sucks. Yeah, proofreading is difficult. Definitely. People can miss a lot of things. You can miss a lot of things, and you read it the most. You know, writers in general will always read and reread all of their work, and somehow we miss it. I guess our eyes just like adapt and put the two links together where we missed. Anyway, breaking news today. I'm sure you guys may have heard already. Tom King actually apologized. Yes. My video, what was it, yesterday? I don't have short-term memory loss, I swear. I know, I uploaded a video yesterday. Yes. About Tom King versus Jay Lee. I know there was a lot of backlash for Tom King behaving this way, especially because Jay Lee did a really good job responding to the backlash because it had like really negatively affected him. And people could instantly see, even normies, like I said, people stepping in who had never even heard of either of these two, looking at the situation from an outsider's view, they can tell, oh, I get it. So this is what cancel culture has whittled down to. It's just like people ruining other people's lives for little to no reason. Cool. But yeah, so he made an apology on Twitter, and he finally took the tweet down that was talking shit on Jay Lee. He did a follow-up tweet that was like, oh yeah, I talked to Jay Lee. He's not a bad guy. Everything's cool. But he didn't take the original tweet down. And, there's a lot of theory. There's a lot of reason that you could conclude as an outsider as to why he didn't take the original tweet down. Like I said in my other video, it could just be because he liked the attention. It could also be, I've heard this in other people's videos, it could also be because Tom King and Jay Lee were still fighting with each other, maybe privately, but Tom knew that it was a fight that he couldn't necessarily win, so he tried to like do some middle thing where he's still trashing Jay Lee, but he's also saying that he's not a bad guy. I don't know. Nothing makes sense anymore, of course. So I can't make sense of it. But yeah, he finally took down the original tweet in which he trashed Jay Lee. And this was his apology. I've heard that it's actually like a pretty decent apology. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. And actually, I can just read it here. Yeah, it doesn't usually, Twitter crop, but it doesn't crop out really anything. As I have done privately, I'd like to publicly apologize to Jay Lee for my actions a few days ago. I should have talked with Jay before I sent a tweet about him that put his career at risk. I made a critical mistake, and I am profoundly sorry. I will do what I can to repair this with Jay, and I will do better in the future. I'm not going to offer explanations because they sound like excuses, and I'm not asking for forgiveness or understanding. I'm just saying I see what I did, and I'm going to try to make up for it. Thank you. I have kept up the tweets up to this point in order to show that I was not hiding my actions. I will now take them down. Okay. So that's not a bad response. I mean, I've kept up the tweets in order to show I was not hiding my actions. No, that's not. Nobody thinks that you're hiding. The original, the second tweet, you could just reiterate. I had a defaming tweet of Jay Lee, and I took it down because this. You didn't have to keep the tweet up. But at the same time, I can kind of understand the mentality. Some people would think like, okay, I made a mistake, but if I try to hide my mistake, I might seem like I'm being disingenuous or something like that. But no, the tweet was actually doing damage. So the right thing to do was to take it down. And you don't have to be disingenuous about it. You can say why you took the tweet down, right? But yeah. I don't know. Maybe he had some internal reasons for keeping it up. It's not a bad apology. Of course, he also says that he apologized privately, which is good. Of course, he has to state to us that he apologized privately, because otherwise we would probably criticize him like, oh yeah, making a big show about it. I mean, tweets were up for multiple days. Whatever. He apologized to Jay Lee. That's what matters, right? That's probably the best thing that Tom King could have done after all of this madness. This is probably the best thing he could have done. So he made the right decision as far as taking a path to the right way and convincing people, okay, nothing's wrong over here. Yeah. And of course, some comments are saying the same thing and saying that this is a decent apology. But you do have to wonder, there were some people who were still attacking Jay Lee, even after all the backlash Tom King was getting after attacking Jay Lee. People were still like, oh, well, so what if he was mourning a dog? He still did a cover for a Comicsgate creator. And it's like, man, I don't know what to tell them. I honestly, some people you just can't please, I guess. Like, it's not enough that Jay Lee didn't even know that Comicsgate existed. I'm gonna be brutally honest. Thank you for the yen. Arigato gozaimasu. But I have no idea what this says. Can someone translate this? Do I have to open up a Google Translator? I feel bad. I do. But I honestly don't know. As it turns out, I'm not enough of a weeb. I'm not enough of a weeb to translate kanji. Sorry, guys. That's cool. Translate it. I don't really understand English, but I always watch it because he's so cute. I support you. That's pretty funny. You said you're cute. Cool. Fake weeb. All right. Doesn't even understand English. It's just like, yeah, she's cute. I'll give her some yen. It's pretty funny. Okay. So it's not a bad apology, right? I mean, it's also possible the reason why he's apologizing is because he was, most likely the reason why he's doing the apology is because of how much pressure he was getting, especially for keeping the tweets up and, not reaching out to Jay before making the initial tweet in the first place. So I also know that there were some stores that were like, man, I'm never holding any Tom King books. It overall looked really bad for him. So the best thing he could do was to take down the tweets and, just apologize, get this over with, right? Yeah, just going to wait and see his actions after this. It's a good point, because he could still try to cancel other people. That's kind of the trend of a lot of these comic creators, I should say. They're in the industry. They have this like power high. They know that they could call up all their media friends and get these hit pieces done on people that they don't like or people that they deem to be enemies. Some people are looking for enemies because they're psychopaths. But it's good that people were very vocal about standing by Jay Lee's side. And it's good that a lot of people were able to see what cancel culture is actually like. Sometimes it takes an extreme case like this to really open people's eyes and be like, whoa, wait, this is bad, isn't it? We shouldn't be doing this, should we? Right? So you would hope that Tom King isn't going to do this again. He might. I mean, I'm not going to just say the magic wand has been waved and Tom King's never going to try. He'll probably be a lot more careful. I'll say that much. He'll probably be contacting people beforehand before ruining their lives. He'll be like, hey, what's up with this, right? It's still wrong that anyone would contact someone who's done business with Comicsgate and try to ruin their life. It's wrong no matter who you do it to. Even if you call them up and they'll like, yeah, I know I did work for Comicsgate. I don't really care. And you ruin their life. That's still wrong. You're still ruining their life for something very petty, right? But he apologized. That's cool, I'm not saying anything really. I'm just not super convinced that this will be the end of it, because we still see it very often. Anyway, another thing that people be talking about, Gail Simone announces she's no longer working with Dynamite Comics. I, for one, am shocked. Well, not that shocked. So this is, of course, another cancel culture story with Cecil, who I seriously doubt we're ever going to get some apologies from Kwanzaa about how he tried to ruin Cecil and Dynamite. But it's another related topic. People have declared Dynamite the enemy of the people now. They're the worst because they did a variant cover with Cecil on. Oh no. So Gail Simone, after saying that she was being silent to process something personally very disappointing and sad, single tear, she finally spoke up, announced that she was leaving Dynamite Comics. What are your guys' thoughts on this guy? Oh, thank you for the donation. You really, you're pushing it with the. You know I'm not good at speaking, and you have these complicated names. Ethos ethos of coercion. Like I said before, you know I'm not good at speaking. You're just making fun of me. Anyway, he says, hey, comic book writer here. I do not use the internet too often. What is Comicsgate? So Comicsgate is basically this group of comic fans online who I'm gonna explain this terribly because it's not really like an organized group. There are a lot of different factions and a lot of different splinter groups that came from Comicsgate. But the original idea of Comicsgate was that comics were being very politically driven, not only in their storytelling, but also who gets hired. And because of that, there are a lot of people taking advantage of the politics to advance their career and throw other people under the bus. And that's also part of this whole cancel culture thing that we're discussing with Jay Lee and Tom King, and now with Cecil. The idea is that they're trying to keep people, or they're gatekeeping people out of the industry who they don't agree with politically or they just don't like on a personal level, and they're using very basic name calling. They're labeling them as hateful people and racists, bigots, homophobes, all that stuff, because they don't want them to succeed in the comics industry. So that's my basic understanding of Comicsgate, but I'm sure that you'll probably hear better explanations from people who are actually involved. And thank you also for the $4.99, Rajan. The war on wokeness is the same as the war on socialism. One cannot be defeated without the other being defeated. Interesting point of view, my man. Anyways, just say Comicsgate equals Image Comics if they didn't have a name. Okay, I still don't get it. There's a lot of confusing things. The most confusing thing is that Comicsgate isn't really an organized group, right? People, I think the name was actually given to people. The name Comicsgate was actually given to those people online, and I think it's supposed to be some kind of play on Gamergate, which was this whole other thing that I'm also not super informed on, but from what I understand, some people were making fun of this girl, and she responded by saying that all gamers are sexist. And then that just led to a rabbit hole of unfortunate events. But yeah, Comicsgate is a hashtag. Yeah, basically. It turned into a hashtag. And then what follows, right? So, Gail Simone, I assume pressured into saying that she's got to leave Dynamite, or maybe she was already planning to leave Dynamite. You know, a lot of people know about these whisper networks that happened between creators discussing who to campaign against next. Dynamite was on the list. Dynamite was commonly spoken about to attack next, with a winky and a smiley face, you know? So here's what she had to say about the whole matter. And she did this in multiple tweets because one tweet was not enough. She says, "All right, I promised I wouldn't talk about Dynamite." No, my bad. "All right, I promised I would talk about Dynamite." Yes, that makes more sense. "This sucks. I'd rather not. It's extremely unpleasant and draining. I didn't post much earlier because the whole thing blows. I know a lot of people were angry at me for not jumping on this by their timeline, but I say again, sometimes it takes me a while to fully articulate my feelings. It just does. This is a morass for me." Did I say that right? "Because I considered the guy running Dynamite to be not just a publisher, not just a friend, but damn near family. I don't have a lot of biological family, so having a guy you really trust that you really like, it's like having a brother." Then why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? I believe a publisher can publish who they want. I believe if freelancers can make a choice what to do at that point, it's a personal choice. And I believe almost every publisher makes mistakes. I know most freelancers have. I certainly have. Then why are you leaving? But finding out all of these alleged connections was very disappointing to me. I know this is just going to end up being mocked on all sides, but when you have someone you care about and this happens, I really just can't articulate how much it sucks. Yeah, it sucks for them. It sucks for them. All right, well, keep reading, of course. There's two things going on, the public and the personal. The public thing is what it is. The personal, what does that mean? The personal is that this was a publisher I liked, who, when my house was robbed, immediately wrote to offer to loan me money if I needed it. I didn't, but that was a stand-up behavior. Then why are you leaving them? It doesn't connect. Secondly, I want there to be a path out of this kind of shit. I want to believe that there's a way people can step up and make it back into the light. I don't want publishers to fold. That just makes everything worse. Huh? Wait a minute. So you're leaving because Dynamite took down the cover? That's what it means, right? I don't want publishers to fold, so you don't want them to bend the knee? Is that what that means? I don't know. I guess this can be interpreted many different ways. It's very fancy talk, right? It's very beating around the bush. All like sayings, but not really. I don't know. I don't know what that way is, but I want it to exist. So you want publishers to not do business with Comicsgate, but you also don't want them to reverse their decision to do business with Comicsgate. And you don't know how to accomplish both of these things, but you really want to know. That's what I'm getting from this. Okay, moving on. All I can tell you guys is my perspective. I don't know what this woman's thinking. I've read a bunch of people saying, oh, she doesn't want to endanger her paycheck, which, no, I'm not working with Dynamite, and I'm not going forward with a charity book to benefit comic shops we talked about. You're not going forward with a charity book? Why? I'm not donating to this charity. I worked with Dynamite because I liked the people. I love the characters. I always have fun there. They have routinely asked for more work than I can do. Then why are you leaving? Why can't people just... Hold on to stuff that you enjoy, guys. You don't have to give this shit up. What, because people on Twitter are upset? Whatever. But I don't need them, and they certainly don't need me. It sucks, but it's the truth. I don't know, man. I mean, it would have been nice if you, like, stood up for them during the whole Cecil controversy, instead of coming out later and being like, I'm leaving Dynamite even though they're nice people. I don't know what to say. So for those of you who think I was being quiet for paychecks, you are mistaken. Since I have routinely commented on bigger companies that I was working for, I would think that would be pretty obvious. I don't know, man. I don't know what you're doing. I haven't spoken with Nick since all this went down. First, I was too upset, and later, I didn't really know what I could say. He's called several times, and I have put off answering just because even thinking about the whole situation is depressing and I don't have any answers. All right. So you don't defend them during the Cecil controversy because I assume she's scared that she'll be the next target. She claims that, you know, she loves these people. She's always had such great relationship with Dynamite. She literally doesn't answer the phone when they need her. I don't know, man. It's rough. I have been disappointed by comics people before this. This whole thing with Warren Ellis is just intensely awful. But again, this is someone I really cared about, and it just plain took the wind out of me. That's all. As for what happens in the future, it's not for me to say. I don't see any benefit to canceling a good publisher that employs a lot of good people and produces a lot of good books. Yeah, I don't either. Honestly, I really don't. I really don't, Gail. People shouldn't be mad at Dynamite. They really shouldn't. I hope Dynamite comes out of this stronger and better. I do too. Lastly, people make mistakes. They trust the wrong people. Yeah, they do. Nick did contact me today. We still haven't spoken. Why not? But I do believe he's heard a lot of what people here have to say. I don't know any details beyond that. Is that her last one? Oh, no, there's still more. I feel like the story's still unfolding. I know a lot of people want me to be angry, but mostly I just feel sad. I'm an optimist by nature. I hope for the best. And that's it. Have a good day, everyone. That's how you announce leaving Dynamite? It seems like the best thing you could have done to help Dynamite is stay with Dynamite. You have Gail Simone here. She's announcing that she's leaving Dynamite because of this whole controversy, while also continuously complimenting Dynamite and hoping for the best. You know? It's like if you genuinely want Dynamite to succeed and come out of this better, you need to stand by them. Right? But I imagine that Gail has her own personal interests in mind. Like I said before, she probably didn't want to be the next target. It's just rough. I don't even know. I don't even know how I should respond to this, right? If you really care about people, you got to stand by them. You really do. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Twitter's evil. Twitter is an evil place full of evil people who are going to be very mad at you if you don't go with the group. I assume that Gail already knew this was coming, though. We saw her in the Facebook Whisper Network where people were talking trash on Dynamite. I don't know, man. At some point, she came to terms with leaving behind, I guess, friends who were very good to her. Because this is her way of advancing her career, keeping her friends, keeping Twitter happy. What do you guys think? I know you're right here, so I can actually read what you think about the whole thing. I didn't know if I should make a whole video about it. Maybe I'll just clip. Maybe I'll just do clips of the live stream. There might be more news as the week goes on, of course. So I'll cover new news as it comes, but I did want to briefly talk about Gail's response. I didn't read all the tweets. When I first heard about it, I read like a few of the tweets, and I just heard that she was leaving Dynamite. But reading all of the tweets, getting the full context behind her statement that she's leaving Dynamite, it's so questionable. Like, I have no idea why she's leaving them behind if she had such great experience, if she liked them so much. For God's sake, even the writer for Red Sonja who left, he said that he was finishing up his contract with them, right? It's Red Sonja, I think. He said that he had good experience with Dynamite. Why are you guys leaving if you have good experience? Because Twitter? It's such a bad reason. Don't give in to a mob. Make your own independent decisions. Make your own judgments of people. Anyway, thank you for the $4.99, Rajan. How does she even have a job in comics? This is a blessing for any company. Damn, bro. I don't know. I haven't read too many of her stuff personally. I have seen some of her black, no, not black. Or what? Maybe she did Black Widow run too. But Domino. That's it. Domino. That was a weird one. That was a weird one. But I did hear that she had better books in the past. And at some point, when all the social justice started happening, when all the cancel culture came out of the light, into the light, I should say, she just went as far as quality. That's what I hear. Or maybe she just got lazier over time. I'm not sure. I haven't read any of her older books. I've only seen some of her newer stuff, and it didn't seem that good. Yeah, the domino effect. There you go. Yeah. So I don't have a very good impression of her right off the bat because I've only seen her stuff that's known for being bad. And I would probably agree. Yeah, it does seem kind of bad. Not so bad that I would laugh at it per se, but definitely very, I guess, childish. Like it's the type of writing that kind of talks down to you. Hey, Andrew Jacobs, what's up, boy? Hey, Dan Fan, congrats on 40K. Thank you. Oop, oop. So the chat does that weird thing where as I'm clicking on it, it'll just bounce up. Sorry about that. But yeah, always good to have peeps in the chat. Ishka's in the chat too. Sorry, I missed her first message. Otherwise, I would have shown that one as well. She's bland. Yeah, maybe a bit bland. I don't like a lot of people who get into comics don't really like the type of stories that talk down to you. And I think there's a lot of her humor, a lot of her writing that feels like it. Feels like it's like I said, it's childish. I'm reading this like business book on the side. Obviously not full time. That would be crazy. But I'm not going to say that it's bad right away because I haven't finished it. But the author of the book, her narration is so cringy, and it kind of reminds me of Gail Simone's writing. It's like there's this portion of the book where the author is like, if you're a hater, put this book down right now. My whole body is just like wrinkling up like a raisin. Like, I don't want to read the rest of this book anymore. I don't want to do it. Am I a hater for that? I don't know. This is just... But yeah, the whole... a lot of the business book that I've read so far, it just seems like it's all pep talk and not actual substance. Not actual information that will help you, but it's all like pep talk and talking down. It's like, you're going to want to do this. You can do it. Come on, youth. Hey, fellow kids, big dreamers. Let's make a business. Even the term hater is idiotic. Oh, maybe a little bit. I think it's just, honestly, the word hater has seen its time, and this is way past its time. There are just some words that go out of style, some topics that go out of style, plenty of memes that go out of style. Stuff just flies by. You got to keep up. In a way, I'm kind of thankful that I'm starting out pretty young. Because I feel like I'm very closer to what people are actually interested in, or closer to gauging what the youth is actually interested in. But lacking in experience, so it's kind of a trade-off. Rest in peace, hater. Is Amazon still canceling manga? I don't know. I haven't heard any recent cases, but I have heard, like, in Australia they're banning manga. Something about something in Australia. We're getting into the censorship. Oh, thoughts on Joe Rogan's comments about video game streamers. Was that specifically about video game streamers? I did hear briefly about the Joe Rogan thing, but I didn't really think anything of it because I thought it was a very boomer take. Like, it's something that a boomer... Because the way that he... So for those of you who don't know, I'll give some context before I get into this. Joe Rogan said on his podcast that video games are really fun, but they're a waste of time, and that you could be using your time doing other things and honing better skills. Which, to some extent is fair. There are a lot of people who out there, I'm sure, that are addicted to video games and just spend all day on it and don't going to actually get anything done that they need to get done. However, it is a very boomer take on video games because it implies that there's no way you can make money off of video games, which just isn't true. You can make money off of video games, obviously. There's streaming. There's play testing. You can yourself get into learning about how video games are made. A lot of people get into modding early on because of how much they play. They start learning code, start making their own mods for video games. And then from there, stepstone up to making their own games in general. What else is there? Joe did nothing wrong. But yeah, you can definitely make there's also competitive games. Yeah, Smash. People win a shitload of money in Smash. And fighting games. I think people are still playing that Dragon Ball Z game competitively. There's Soul Calibur. I love watching Soul Calibur tournaments. But yeah, yeah. You can definitely make money off of video games. So in some cases, it's not necessarily a waste of time for people. Oh, thank you for another $5 donation, Maverick. Philip DeFranco talked about it. Rogan acknowledged you can make money off of it, etc. But he personally had a video game addiction issue. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the real thing. If you have a problem putting the video game down and actually doing work, if you're not a pro gamer, and you have issues, there are people who are like way more addicted to video games than they should be. And I'll admit, video games are addicting. It's the classic reward system that our human brains just operate off of. We very much like working towards a goal and being rewarded when we reach that goal. And video games give us that, whereas life sometimes doesn't deliver. That clip was kind of taken out of context. He talked about people who make money off of games too. That clip did sound bad, though. Yeah, a lot of people like to take clips out of context. If he's talking about specifically video game addiction, then it's all good. But yeah. And another thing is, of course, like, people play video games for fun. People who aren't even making money off of it, they're just playing for fun. And there's nothing wrong with playing for fun, so long as you're not addicted, of course. But it's the same thing with, like, drinking. Some people drink because it's, I don't know, they like it. They like the taste or whatever. I don't understand because I don't drink. But it's not for everybody, right? If you have a problem, then you can't drink. But there are people who are very responsible about how they use their alcohol. But that's probably not a accurate. I'm just thinking as far as like other things I compare it to based on addiction. But comparing it to things that we do for fun, like watching TV. Nothing productive about watching TV, right? But we do it for fun. Watching podcasts, right? We do it for fun. That's why. But yeah, I'm sure that the clip was probably taken out of context. If he's specifically talking about video game addiction, it's a different topic, right? Nobody's promoting people to be addicted to video games. That's rough. For the microtransactions are the worst thing about video game addiction. Oh yeah, definitely. Microtransactions are the worst. Anyway, last thing I'll briefly chat about. This is very brief because it's not something that you can really talk about for a long period of time. Marvel's making webcomics. You hear about this? I'm sure you have. If you're anywhere near Z Comics industry, you've heard about these Marvel webcomics. I guess they're finally using their Instagram in a way that they think is good. I mean, we're talking about it. Maybe they got something going here. Fragaboom in the chat. What's up? Got your Tumblr here. Black bag, guys. Woo! I figured if I was out of tea, I'd go for the water. Actually, hydrate myself. Too much tea, not enough hydration. So, damn, Peter looking like a snack. The idea behind these webcomics, and they're going to do multiple of these, so this isn't the only one, but the idea is heroes at home, staying home during the pandemic. Obviously, the play on that is like webcomics are something that you can easily access at home. I'm not necessarily against Marvel posting like little webcomics for free. I mean, I think on paper that sounds cool, right? Right? You can read a short Marvel comic for free online, get you pumped about maybe whatever next comics they have coming out. But these are like this is like Sarah's Scribbles type of webcomic. This is like the weekly jokey webcomics. And all right, so first of all, Spider-Man at Home, the whole Heroes at Home idea for your webcomics, terrible idea. Because first, heroes wouldn't be at home during the pandemic. If they need to go out and save someone, they're going to go out and save it. Chances are they'll already have a mask on, so they'll be good to go, right? I mean, he's not wearing his mask in this webcomic, but Spider-Man has a mask he can wear and keep his identity. Does he have to wear like a double mask over his already mask? I don't think he does, but I guess that's up for debate, right? So, for some reason, Peter's not out there saving people, but instead he's like at home in his Spider-Man outfit for some reason. I don't fucking know. I guess they thought if they didn't show him in his Spider-Man uniform, no one would know that he's Spider-Man. Because he's kind of generic looking. They could have gave him like a Spider-Man t-shirt, though. They could have made it look more casual. But yeah, fun. What do I know, right? So the joke is pretty simple. He's making croissants. Some time passes, and he realizes that he mixed up the yeast with his spider web chemical, so oven explodes with spider webs. It's pretty difficult to explain that to the landlord, huh? Congrats on the 40K. Thank you, Frag. Very, very proud. Getting further and further up the ladder, bit by bit. But yeah, it's super jokey, very casual, doesn't really make much sense. It's something that you'd imagine like a fan artist making. It's like a little fan comic. It doesn't work as canon, and I don't think that they mean for it to be canon, but the fact that it's coming from the official Marvel Instagram is what really seems bizarre about this webcomic style. Yeah, Heroes at Home Spider-Man doesn't make any sense. The plot itself, of heroes staying at home during the pandemic doesn't make much sense, but people still need to be saved. Especially when you got cops being shot during the riots. But what do I know? What do I know? I don't know anything. I guess not. No. Don't know anything. All right. Yeah, uptick in crime everywhere. People being let out of jail. And yet, no, heroes are going to stay at home in their hero costumes, just making croissants. It looks like some fanfic. That's exactly what it looks like. It does not look professional. It doesn't make sense for Marvel to really be posting this on their official Instagram. If I were going to do Marvel webcomics, I would make them more like serious stories, like serious one-shot stories. You could do just one page and tell a story within that page of like your heroes, and you could make it serious and you could make it good and you could entertain people. But no, they wanted to do this like super goofy webcomic-y Sarah's Scribbles. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind, but Shen comics, those short comics, The ones that George used to do with Problematic. It's just those types of goofy short comics. And it just doesn't seem to fit. I don't know. I'm not into it. If they were making actual decent webcomics or short comics, I would be totally into it. I'd be like, oh, hell yeah, Marvel. Stepping up your game during the pandemic. I'm enjoying these, but no. That's too much work for them. Actually coming up with a real story? Keep your real stories out of my face. I ain't into that. No. Grasping for an audience that doesn't buy comics. It's a fair point. That's fair. I mean, I don't know too many people who casually read these short, goofy webcomics who, I should say, actively read these short, goofy webcomics who really wanted Marvel to make their characters into one of these goofy webcomics. I think that they're just giving us something that nobody asked for. And it could just be a problem with them connecting to their audience. They don't actually know what their audience wants. So they're just guessing, basically. People in their office are just throwing out ideas, and all of them are big fat misses. Yeah. But what are you going to do? All right. So, the croissant was the villain. Yeah, that's what it is. So we're going to wrap this stream up, but thank you guys for joining me. This actually went by a lot quicker than I thought. I guess because I took my time going over these few topics. So that's what it is. Thank you guys for joining me regardless. I had fun. I did. I always do. But, it's just because I enjoy interacting, even if it's with a screen and text on the screen. 40K, guys! Woo! We're gonna get higher and higher, and soon we will reach the heavens. Our drills will pierce the heavens. Yes. So, good night, everyone. And I'll see you next time. New video tomorrow. Or maybe just a clip taken from the live stream. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll make a video reiterating the topics that I talked about during the live stream. One of the topics. I don't know. Depends what you guys are interested in. So, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. I gotta go eat dinner. Bye.